Ugh, what the hell, dude? All right. Welcome to HiveScience, everybody. I am Bree, and I am presenting to you some fun, strange science today or tonight. I am glad you're joining us. This is also recorded live from the Hive, so please also say hi to my live audience. Some of you might be in both audiences, in which case I love you so much. You're my favorite people in the whole world. Thank you for watching my stuff twice. But as promised in Strange Science today, we're going to be talking about weaponized genitalia. What is weaponized genitalia? I found myself explaining this in a panel with Neil? Yeah, a panel with Neil and Mark Reed, and who else was in there? We had lots of good people. It was on one of Neil's after parties, the after party for Mark Reed's show, or his story. He didn't really have a deconversion story, but much like me, he had some woo-woo beliefs that he has since broken free of. But I got to talking about what a stinger is on a wasp or ant or bee, because there was some confusion in a conversation I was having with some TERFs of all people, or I don't know if they were TERFs or gender critical people, about because they were accusing me of saying bees had a third gender and all that crap. I ranted about it, and it was on my Hoven video just a couple of days ago that premiered. So I already covered that. If you wanted to see what I said, what I have to say about that, it's in the Hoven video that premiered last Wednesday for Creation Watch. However, the notion that there are just that the stinger of a bee is some kind of separate or part of its body. It's literally modified by or a separate. Yeah, not part. It's literally a modified reproductive system, is what you have there, and it dates back to the earliest. Wasps were pretty much all parasites. Even bees and ants are all descendant from parasitic ancestors that laid their eggs on other organisms. They laid their eggs on other organisms, and the baby hatched out and ate the organism, and that's how they grew. All of them. Yeah, I'm always fighting with TERFs. It's problematic. Kind of makes my life suck a little bit. Not gonna lie. You are sucky people, TERFs. I'm a woman and I can be a woman and you can't stop me. Anyway, so the stinger and the venom and everything that all these Hymenopterans have it's all tracks its descent back to the same venom that was used to paralyze the insects that they were laying their eggs on, right? So the stinger is an ovipositor, so they were literally stinging and laying their eggs at the same time. So the sting was to paralyze the usually like a caterpillar or something along those lines, and something soft-bodied, and to attach an egg on there. So they sting, and then they pull out, and the egg is rooted in there. There's like little white, like little white beads of grains of rice or something hanging off of the caterpillar or other organism, and they're stuffed down inside of them. So, yeah, TERFs do suck. TERFs suck. Anyway, and that's how the stinger came about, right? That's how the stinger first evolved in its ancestry, and the proteins and the venoms and everything, that we can trace it all back to this origin. It's still used in many species of wasps today, but others now have evolved eusocial behavior, which means that they have these different caste roles. So now they could have members of their society with their reproductive systems completely dedicated to being a stinger instead and injecting that same venomous juice that used to be used to paralyze unsuspecting insects was now being utilized as a full-on chemical defense system, and the females of the species, all but only one needed to lay eggs, and all the other ones, which are clones of her, but with their reproductive systems completely useless and atrophied and repurposed for this stinging role. So yeah, pretty cool. But another less social, I guess, species of wasp where they live in just a little small colony, and of which the males also are more of a vital role in the maintenance and defense of the colony. But how do they defend themselves? They don't have an ovipositor to evolve into a stinger. They don't have it. It's not part of their biology for obvious reasons. So what do? What do the male wasp do in order to defend themselves without a modified ovipositor? Let's see. Okay, how genital stingers give male wasps some sexual equality. This right here. Watch it. A study that involves giving frogs an unpleasant snack has shown that male wasps really can defend themselves with a jab from their genitalia. It does, poor frog. I don't think he signed up for this. It's like, what the ugh, what the hell, dude? Seriously, dude, did you just do that? Poor frog. Ouch, that looks painful. It sure does. The experiment was set up like this in the lab in Shinji, Sugawara, and lab Shinji? I don't want to say his name bad. I'm sorry if I say your name bad, Shinji. Shinji Sugawara, an ecologist at Kobe University in Japan. 17 tree frogs, known for being tough-skinned, insect-eating predators, were each left to hang out with a puny male mason wasp in a contained environment. Instead of having a tasty snack, the frogs were repeatedly stung in the mouth by the wasp, who evaded becoming meals, at least temporarily. It was in the process of observing these lunch dates that Dr. Sugawara and his colleagues confirmed a hunch. Male wasps use sharp stingers mounted on their genitalia to shed themselves of being eaten, similar to the protective mechanism used by females. We show that male genitalia function as an anti-predator defense. Anti-predatory genitalia, I'm in. I am totally down for that. We showed the male genitalia function as an anti-predator defense. Dr. Sugawara said in an email, it was, let me close this ad, that's annoying me. We showed that the male genitalia function as an anti-predatory defense. I was very excited to know that the male wasp was, as well as the females ones, are able to sting, because I had believed that male wasps never counterattack. When a predator dares to get too close to a female wasp, she can use her ovipositor, her egg-laying tube organ, to deliver a painful, venomous jab. Less is known to science about male wasp defense. Males lack a venomous ovipositor for stinging, so they evolved to look and act as menacing as the females as an attempt to fool predators to stay away. In some species, such as the common wasp and the velvet ant, males have developed a pseudo-sting, two spines on the tip of their abdomen or on the genitalia to look fierce. Whether they're actually effective for scaring off predators is questionable, though most scientists assume males to be innocuous. The results of the experiment conducted by Dr. Seguera and his colleagues, published on Monday in the journal Current Biology, suggest that penis spikes might indeed come in handy. Penis spikes. Did you all know you were going to learn about penis spikes this afternoon? Although their lances don't deliver any venom, male wasp stinging is very similar to female stinging behavior, he said. In fact, when the scientists fed the frogs a group of wasps whose genitals had been removed, the frogs gobbled up every single one of them unperturbed. Unfortunately, I'm not used to reading that word, unperturbed. Unfortunately for the male wasp, the sharp counterattacks didn't work every time. Only little more than a third of the tree frogs ultimately gave up on eating the stinging insects that they had been assigned. The male wasps still weren't as efficient as the female wasp. About half of the female wasps, which were much bigger than the male wasp, were outright ignored by the frogs from the start. And of those who were attacked, a whopping 87.5% were successful in their stinging escapades. The new research confirmed decades of anecdote from the field, according to Justin O. Schmidt, a scientist at the University of Arizona and author of The Sting of the Wild, who was not involved in the study. Any of us who go out in the field and catch insects have caught one of these things. We grabbed it and it curled around and tried to sting us, he said. But male use of their pseudo-sting could simply be another act of mimicry of female behavior. Of course, he can't sting, but he's trying to fake you out, Dr. Schmidt said. So you look at that and say, oh, wow, this is a female. Bad news. I think it's a form of startle as much as an absolute defense. Once I get to this segment, my reading's always so jumbled. I don't know why. Maybe what matters isn't that the male wasp can't actually sting, but that they've evolved these pseudo stings, said Akito Y. Kawahara, an insect curator at Florida's Museum of Natural History, who was not involved in the study. 7 million years back, probably, these things were not functional at all. And I think over many millions of years more, it will probably become more perfected, Dr. Kawahara said, adding, it's the sort of thing we're seeing evolution in action. And it's a completely different way of looking at the role of genitalia. An organ that is typically used for sex or mating, is co-opted to have all these other functions because the insect needs it, Dr. Kawahara said. He has shown that similarly, hawk moths use their genitalia to produce ultrasound that jams the sonars of predating bats. So hawk moths also use their genitalia as a shield. Could you imagine having your shields connected to your genitalia like a sonic shield? More research is needed to understand this morphine, but this experiment gives reason to believe it's widespread in wasps around the world. I think we're going to see more cases like this, Dr. Kawahara said, and it's just the beginning. So, pretty cool stuff there. That was our strange science for today. The topic being how genital stingers give male wasp some sexual equality. What'd you think about that? Let me know in the comments down below. I thank you for watching this video, and I appreciate everybody in the live from the Hive chat for sticking around. And we will see you, Wednesday for Creation Watch. So hang around for that later this week. And then, of course, Friday we have CryptoCorner, and then Saturday we'll be back live from the Hive. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. All right.